Occurred, the 15th of August 1977, 3 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Plymouth, in, USA. Shape, light duration: 45 to 120 minutes. No of observers. 2 characteristics: lights on object, electrical or magnetic effects, very bright light. The light seemed magnetically attached to our plane. Followed us on the ground. My husband, who was an IFR pilot, and myself owned our own airplane. At this particular time, it was a Cessna 175. We had spent many hours in our planes, and on this particular occasion we were getting ready to go to Colorado. My husband wanted to see if we would need oxygen at, not certain of the exact altitude, 12 to 13,000 feet. I have his log book at our home in Indiana, and I'm at our home in Florida as I write this. This will give the exact date and possibly the altitude. We drove our El Camino from South Bend to Plymouth, where our plane was hangared, about 2 a.m., did our pre-flight, noticing nothing out of the ordinary. He needed night flying and also time, under the hood, for his IFR rating, so he decided to kill a few birds at one time. It's been so long since this happened, and my husband would not allow me to talk about it while he was alive. But I'll try to get as close to what the distances are as I can remember. He was going to do a 5 or 10 mile precision turn up to the 12 or 13,000 mark, and I was his spotter. The 5 or 10 mile precision turn means that you keep making circles around a central point and climb so many feet per minute. My job was to keep quiet and watch for any traffic. The night was clear as a bell, and there was no traffic at SBN, who we had filed our flight plan with. We started our climb and the sky was empty, no traffic any direction. About 20 minutes into the climb, I noticed traffic at 1 o'clock. I looked up again and the same traffic was at 1 o'clock. This happened the third time, and I said to myself, because he had told me to keep completely quiet so he could concentrate, this cannot be happening because we are making a circle and the traffic is in exactly the same spot. It came a little closer from the first time I noticed it till the exercise was finished, but not much. It only appeared as a light coming straight towards the plane. It seemed too far away the whole time that I never feared of it hitting us. I felt like they or someone knew exactly what I was thinking. I felt that it was magnetically glued to the plane because it never moved an inch. I kept scooting around to make double certain that it wasn't a reflection of light from any place in the plane. It was not a reflection. I even put both hands up to the glass and looked at it like that. When we finally were within 1,000 feet of outgoal, my husband asked me to light a cigarette for him. At that time I finally said, "We have something at 1 o'clock." He said, "Congratulations, it has been there since 3,000 feet. My husband had gotten the Bronze Star in WW2 and was never one who would become excitable. This is an important aspect in this event. I asked him to call SBN to see if we had traffic and he wouldn't do it. Finally I coaxed him into it and they replied to us that not only did we not have traffic, that he hadn't seen any in our area all night. We broke formation and headed for the airport, and it came with us for 2 or 3 minutes, and when we signaled for the lights to come on in the airport, it changed position to dropping behind us. It had followed us down as we lost altitude. As we were landing, it kept getting closer and closer to us. As we touched down, it kept very still about 300 feet from us. We pulled up to the hangar door, jumped out, even left the charts in the plane, quickly put the plane in. We did it so fast we broke the tail light from the top of the tail. There was absolutely no noise coming from the bright light, and we were close enough to have heard any noise from it. Jumped in the El Camino and drove as fast as we could to the highway. He started to turn north towards home and I screamed, "No, don't go that way, it's deserted. Go toward town." He turned south, and by the time we came into downtown Plymouth, we were going almost 100 miles per hour. He said, "Where, 3 words deleted, are the police when you need them?" Trees had kept us from being able to see the light, because they are all along on both sides of the street. I was able to see that it was following us until we went under the trees. I couldn't get him to go inside the police station and he wouldn't let me go in. He refused to report it to the FAA and made me promise not to talk about it. He said he didn't want anyone thinking he was nuts. He died Jan of '05. To this day I have a spooky feeling if I go near there, and will not go at night.
Occurred, the 11th of November 1994, 22 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Plymouth, IN, USA. Shape: triangle. Duration: 5 minutes. No of observers. 4 characteristics: lights on object, emitted other objects. 1994, in Indiana. Black triangle with white and red lights hovering then flying away quickly. I was only 13 years old at the time. I was walking with my best friend from my house to his house in a subdivision outside of town. We stopped in the middle of the street to look for shooting stars. We found a few lights in the far distance that looked like airplanes without the flashing lights, but their behavior was strange. The first one we found while looking to the north. It moved a few degrees through the sky then stopped. A smaller light came from inside of it and went the same distance from its parent. After a minute it returned to its parent and it continued to fly away. We continued to look around and we saw a bright white light over the eastern tree line. At first we just assumed it was a light on a tower, but after walking a bit more then turning around again it was noticeably brighter. We stared at it as it got bigger and bigger until we realized it wasn't growing, it was approaching. We ran westward down the street to my friend's driveway, just a few hundred feet away. By the time we got there, the object was above the street coming toward us. I told my friend to run inside and find a camera. He ran inside screaming and his 5-year-old brother came running outside to see what was going on. A few seconds behind him was their mother, who was in her late 30s. My friend came back out without a camera to see what the object was doing. By this time it was hovering directly above us at the height of a 2-story house. The object was hovering above us long enough for us to discuss its attributes. It was a black triangle shape with 4 lights, 3 white and 1 red. The white lights were at the corners and the red light was centered on its underside. There was a low humming sound, but nothing more. No wind, no engine noise, and no movement. We knew it couldn't be an airplane because it was hovering, and we knew it wasn't a helicopter because it was almost completely silent. After about 2 minutes of hovering, it simply tilted up slightly, probably about 25 degrees, and flew away at a very fast speed heading straight west above the tree line.
Occurred the 9th of November 1996, 12 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Plymouth, IN, USA. Shape: triangle. Duration: 2 minutes. No of observers. 1 characteristics: lights on object. 3 silent black triangles flying in one-sided formation with dim lights in the shape of a V on the bottom laying on the pavement at Washington Elementary School around midnight. Stargazing, watching for shooting stars in the dark shadow on the east side of the school building when directly center above me at a good height. Low cloud height, maybe 3 black triangles flying in a single-sided V formation complete Fulton. Straight west to east towards town at a slow yet steady pace. It lasted no more than 2 minutes until their stealth blackness disappeared them into a distant cloud bank. They also appeared to have 2 rows of dim lights in a V shape on the bottom. If I had not been looking at the exact spot in the sky where they appeared, I doubt I would have even seen them, but they appeared right over the top of the building. It was amazing. My only regret is I was alone with no video equipment.
Occurred the 6th of May 2012, 1 hour 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Plymouth, IN, USA. Shape: circle. Duration: 5 minutes. No of observers. 2 characteristics: aura or haze around object, unidentified flying object, red circle with yellow center floating in the sky. My fiancé and I were outside looking at the moon because of how large it was. We were taking pictures because it was a beautiful sight. In the process we saw an unidentified object floating across the sky. It was a red circle with a yellow center. We were able to capture a photo of this. When we went through all of the pictures we took of the moon, we realized that we actually caught the object in other pictures as well. I am looking to find out what this is.
Occurred the 6th of December 2019, 15 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Plymouth, IN, USA. Shape: circle. Duration: 90 seconds. No of observers. 1 Characteristics: aircraft nearby, fast-moving sphere heading SW at 3 p.m. While taking down a ladder, I noticed a jetliner heading west towards Chicago, and then noticed a smaller craft at a lower altitude heading west at a high speed. It was a round body with no wings or exhaust visible. I guess the aircraft at 5 miles high, so the unknown craft at maybe 2 miles altitude.